Yeah, absolutely, you just have to meet the 30.
And then secondly, as far as the notification goes, this being such a huge issue for our community, I know that there's a minimum standard for agencies and for the government to notice public comment, and usually it's in the, you can do it in the legals in the back of, little papers. And I would hope that the council would agree that this is something that we would want a little bit more front page and different media sources, radio, TV, news, newspaper, that sort of thing, that we would really want to really notice this very, very well. Let the public know that this is, here's your 30 or 45 days or whatever we decide. This is what it's about.
And so what are you thinking about? You'd like a week or two on the front end of it before the public comment period actually opens?
I don't know that I have an answer to that or a suggestion for it. I would hope that we would make more effort to let the public know that, that these are the ideas that are out there, that these are this is the work that the council has done, and these are the proposals, and now you have this amount of days to respond to it, and then maybe 2 weeks into that, all right, now you have just 2 more weeks. And I know that there's a minimum legal standard for notice.
Right.
I would like to exceed that. I would like to do more than just the minimum.
And my concern, and the reason that it went to 30 and we took the second one off, is the whole idea behind this was to do an expedited action, so that if something came up as part of a remedial project and we thought we could go in and plant trees, that we can get in there while they still have the dirt turned over and get these trees planted, and we don't have to do 3 months worth of pilot. And I think there's a fine line between having public comment and then making it such a long process that it's not expedited anymore.
And I would be fine and comfortable with 30, just so you know, as long as it was very well noticed. Like if we took the extra step to notice it in different media markets and more often than just the normal minimum requirement.
Okay.
By law.
Radio,
30 days would be.
radio, newspapers, and what else would you have?
TV, if we could get the
BTC?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Quick question, just so I understand how fast now, we've got an idea how slow it could go or what we could do to slow it down. Perfect world, someone drops something on that laptop tonight, a piece of paper, what's the fastest that this could actually happen? I mean, 30 days is a public comment period, but what is actually the fastest that something could happen?
And this will get at what Steve was thinking too. It will be well over a month. So if somebody landed it in your lap at this meeting, you would have a meeting about whether your initial meeting, and then you probably have another meeting 30 days later after the public comments. We're talking 2 months.
So at least 60 days. So a lot of the times, I mean, to Elizabeth's point, 60 days the dirt has been turned, graded, seeded. We can't go in and get trees done. So it's just an interesting. Whoever's bringing this needs to be planning ahead, because we don't have enough time to go in and do trees while dirt is moving. If 60 days generally is the best we could do.
And we could speed it up by calling a special meeting.
Exactly. You can meet more often,
Yeah.
but what you're going to have is more than a guaranteed 30 days, just by the nature of needing 2 meetings.
I think at the very, very
No more than 60 though.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Is it possible to give a list of the remediation projects for this construction season? I mean, would EPA or DEQ or whoever
I
care
think
that?
they have a list up there. So,
Yeah, I think we can get you a list.
okay. We'll work on that.
Elizabeth, you could take action on the changed language when you do your motion for the other parts of the document.
Okay.
And we'll have down to do the maximum notice through different media.
All right.
The other change is tied to, at your November 15th meeting, Larry, this came from some of your input about not just relying on the Silver Creek watershed, not calling it out. We added an attachment to the process plan with a list of known restoration planning documents that would have some relevant information to the generation of this one. And then after that, you presented last time and gave a list, and they had 3 documents on their list that we didn't have in what I gave you in your last meeting. So that was the other change, is just to add those 3 things to the attachment in your process plan that now has a list of what we know to be documents that would maybe be relevant to this process. That's it.
Yeah, we've got it. Right.
So those are the 2 changes we had from the staff end.
I guess maybe the easiest way now is to just go through and see if, I've got some type changes that I don't think we need to go through every one of those tonight, yeah. So let's go to substantive changes, and
Will you
maybe
be
we
looking
can just
from
go
the
around.
clean or the red line? The clean document?
I'm actually working from the clean document. I don't know if anybody else has got a different. One of the ones that I had was back to figure 2, which I think we've hammered on 100,000 times. But I just have one other change. Where we label the historic Silverbuck Creek Channel, also known as Metro Storm Drain, it just looks unwieldy. I just think it looks weird the way we have it on there. And my suggested change was just to shorten it to historic Silverbuck Creek, and then in parentheses behind it have MSD. And we've defined MSD through here about 3 or 4 times, so we should be able to, but it just at least shortens it up a little bit, makes it look a little cleaner.
I appreciate that change. I think it's reasonable, and my aesthetic sensibilities also appreciate.
We want to send that.
No, we do not want to.
And I guess a couple of things I had as I read through this for one last time was a couple of questions maybe for you, Carol. One of them comes on page 3, where we talk about that if there's substantial changes to the document, that it needs to go back through public review.
Right.
So my question is does this need to go back out for public review, or are we,
No.
okay,
Not for all the public meetings that you had on this.
okay,
But once if it's, whatever, it has to be approved by the governor, and if you want changes to what's approved by the governor, and they are significant, that will trigger another public comment period.
okay. One other thing that I looked at on page 7, where we talk about, we just kind of list remediation for DIPSU. I wondered if we needed to add the unilateral order to that section, or at least a reference to it. It's just kind of, I don't know if that's actually substantial or not.
No, we can do that, and the response to comment document recognizes the existence of that unilateral order, so we just add a sentence in. Okay.
And I think that was about all of the substantial changes that I had. All right, I think you're up, John.
Thank you for that. Actually, a lot of the things that I think we talked about last time did show up both in the memo that you provided for your suggested changes and what you just handled there as well. And we have Forbes in there. So Forbes is there. I'm ready to start moving on this, depending on how everyone else feels.